Marvellous. And we are back once again. My name is Yuusha Anime and welcome back to the Fruit of Grisaia. This is actually going to be my final recording for today. I'm still ill, I've got the cold. So, I've done about 4 recordings today. I feel pretty happy with that actually because I can actually record properly again, which is nice. So, we are now going to resume the Fruit of Grisaia. So guys, follow close behind because Yuusha. Our daily habits become part of who we are. That goes for everything from the natural routines like washing your face or brushing your teeth to the obsessive rituals like always moving your left leg first with your left. What the hell is? I can't read for the life of me. What's going on? Like always moving your left leg first when you walk. Hold on one second. I'm just going to change something because my face cam's properly. There we go. Now my face shouldn't be in the way of any text. There we go. I know I don't run every single day for some conscious reason. The habit's just ingrained into my personality by this point. Doesn't matter how tired I am. Doesn't matter if it's pouring rain. Doesn't matter if the wind's blowing me all over the road. Even when I get a little sick, I'm out there running like it's a cure for the common cold. 16 kilometers every morning like clockwork. In 1 month, that's 496. In a year, 5,840. Oh, wow. When you work it out, I'm running the distance to Singapore annually. With change to spare. It's pretty respectable distance if I do say so myself. Not that I'm particularly aiming to go see the Meridian or try out the famous chicken rice. The itinerary is strictly local. Every day I make my way around the outer walls of the school, past the shuttered stores of the shopping district, and by a few poorly maintained Shinto shrines. Every day I take in the same coastal scenery. It might sound repetitive, but I don't feel any need to change my standard course. Running a familiar road at a familiar pace makes for better training. That said, my route isn't completely set in stone. For example, if I happen to notice an acquaintance nearby, I'll sometimes head in their direction. Not that I chase people around town, of course. Well, no, you know them. I just catch up and offer a brief ring. It just seems like the polite thing to do, especially when they're a school friend of mine. Okay, who do we see? Is it Amane? I guess it's Amane. I like the sound effect though in this game when it goes down. It's pretty cool. Is it Amane? This morning as I'm following my no. I think I know who it is. No, I was wrong. Never mind, I just saw the name. I was going to be totally wrong. This morning as I'm following my standard marathon route around the Academy's campus, I catch sight of Masashima Michiru. I plan to do 3 quick laps around the school before heading toward the station, but Michiru's appearance gives me pause. Even from a distance, her body language is clearly unusual. From the way she's trudging along the road with her shoulders slumped, you'd think the force of gravity is operating at double strength in her immediate vicinity. Something seems distinctly off with the girl. Then again, it's still very early in the morning and I don't want to disturb her privacy. Probably better not call out to her. Oh. Okay. I forgot what that says. That's not right there. But Senor Kuriningu. Okay, so that's is that Sentaku Kuriningu? I'm just making a guess, but if it is, wow. As I make my way through the shopping district, I try to think of reasons why Michiru would leave the school at such an early hour. That's Yamaguchi. That's Yamaguchi. Okay. She's a little young to be headed to a public park for radio calisthenics, so what's her objective? Wow, we're going quite a distance. When I happen to spot the girl for the second time in this one training session, my curiosity proves harder to suppress. This time I'm running along the coast when I notice her blonde hair dead ahead. She's walking slowly up the same road, her head slightly bowed. At this rate, I'll catch up very soon. When I overtake her, I can just say a quick hello. But Michiru abruptly turns off my route. Before I have the chance to say anything, she's vanished down the side path. Oh. Having completed my standard 16 kilometers, I return to the dorm as usual. Usually I take a quick shower next. but the uncharacteristic melancholy I could see in Michiru, even from a distance, seems to have left an oddly strong impression on me. It's weighing on my mind. We're classmates, I suppose. Can't hurt to stick my nose in every once in a while. Mumbling something of an excuse to myself, I wipe the sweat from my neck with a towel, then head back outside the school grounds. Okay, we're heading back. Have to say though, I don't understand people who dream about living in a house by the sea. No? The ocean breeze makes everything rust. The moisture makes it hard to dry your laundry. If a seaside town sounds romantic, you probably never lived in one. I never thought about that. Sure, you can come to love your home wherever it may be, but let me assure you, there's nothing idyllic about drunken teenagers partying on the beach for months at a time, especially given their tendency to launch fireworks at midnight. Let's see, I'm pretty sure she was headed this way. Oh wow, that looks beautiful. Whoa, that actually looks really neat. I find Michiru seated on a high ridge overlooking the sea, aimlessly gazing into the distance. I approach slowly, but she appears oblivious to my presence. I'm consciously taking loud, conspicuous steps to no apparent effect. The girl's carelessness exceeds my expectations. She's crumpled into herself like a load of laundry long forgotten in a hamper. More than anything else, she looks worn out, exhausted even, almost like a completely different person. Well then. I can hear the sounds of waves in the distance. The sunlight is gentle this morning, the weather fair and pleasant. The location isn't bad either. But if this is an early morning picnic, she's forgotten to bring food. Well, that's one way to analyse it, I guess. Michiru? Fastest way to figure out what she's doing here is probably just to ask her, but she doesn't respond to my voice. What's wrong? Waiting to get picked up by the garbage truck? In that case, you got to label yourself as oversized waste. They can't pick up bottled prawns if you just dump one at the curb, I'm afraid. Is she not listening? Normally a remark like this would be met by an indignant cryptic shriek of Mickey as soon as it left my mouth, but today I got nothing. Just what's going on with this girl? I rapidly review and analyse Michiru's recent behaviour. Okay, just what do we have here? It doesn't take long for me to reach an extremely plausible hypothesis. All the pieces fall into place. I see, so that's what's going on. Why didn't I realise it sooner? Careless, very careless. Damn! Wait, what am I cursing here? Hold on. I've finally gotten a grasp on the situation. Specifically the nature of Matsushima Michiru's bodily distress. Is it distress, was it? Yeah, distress. Michiru, has your dysentery taken a turn for the worse? You should have told me. Why suffer in silence? Okay, first order of business. I need to look at your stool to confirm the progression of the diseases. Hurry about with it. I forgot about that. When I grabbed Michiru's shoulders with both hands and began shaking her vigorously, there's finally a response. I was half convinced she'd fainted sitting up, but things don't seem to be quite that serious. Good question. Why am I here? What do you think? Michiru may have recognised my presence, but her normal bristly attitude is notable by its absence. It's not just that her remorse has fallen off. It feels as though she isn't aware of her own state of vulnerability. Why am I here? That would be because I came here. Therefore, here I am. Understood? Either way, that's of little importance at the moment. Produce a stool sample at once. Oh God. Cut the back talk, maggot. You're the one who ate contaminated food. Here I am kindly offering to examine your stool as a favour. Oh my God. This is the attitude. Evacuate your bowels. Aha. What's that supposed to mean? Are you implying my mental picture of you is fundamentally flawed? Ah. I picture you in the mountains discovering colourful toadstools. You try to shriek, oh my God, what's this? It's like so cute. But before the so bit is out of your mouth, you stuffed it full of mushrooms. You're dead seconds later.
けないでしょ。何？私ってそんなイメージなの？
Tell me, what kind of image do you think your acquaintances have of you?
それはいつも元気に青い鳥を探して走り回ってるツンデレミチルタン。
Yeah?
私は本当は青い鳥を見つけたいわけじゃないんだからねって感じかしらね。
If you don't want to find one, why are you chasing it in the first place?
例えでしょ。今のはミチルのごく一部なのよ。わかる？
Okay.
ここはあんま言わなくていいのよ。
Sadly, I find your explanation incoherent. And that image of your lying dead in the forest with mushrooms spilling out of your mouth doesn't seem to be going anywhere. My apologies.
うるさいわね。とにかくいつも元気な私なのよ。
Lies. Certainly my impression of Michiru up to today has been pretty similar to her description. A constantly cheerful idiot girl, but today she got none of the usual vigour and her cindery act has all but disappeared. It's useless, madame. When I should stop doing that, goddammit. I've started watching JoJo's. It's contagious. I'm sorry. When women act differently from normal, the most likely cause is that time of the month. Nope. But we're dealing with a girl going through a difficult age. One must put these questions delicately, or it'll be awkward to answer. I lower my voice and beckon Michiru closer with my hand. Michiru?
Nani?
Michiru draws her face near. I put the matter to her in the most gentlemanly way I know. We're actually gonna ask? Are you menstruating?
違うわよ。そういうこと耳元で小声で聞かないでしょ。
Well, we put it bluntly, I guess. I thought it'd be better than shouting, but it seems our opinions differ.
大きな声でも小さな声でも普通は女の子にそんなこと言わないでしょ。
In general, yes, but no. I'm simply trying to understand the situation. Is it iron deficiency then? That won't do. That won't just give you anemia, you know. It makes it easier to catch colds as well. There's no reason to stuff yourself with vitamin C like an idiot if you forget to eat anything else. You need balance, understand? Balance.
そんなんじゃないわよ。違うもん。具合が悪いとかじゃないの。
So it's not anemia, no menstruation, and not nutritional deficiency. I'm out of ideas. What's actually going on here?
それはそうなの。
It's fine, you can give it to me straight. I've been in the field a long time, you know. You're probably not going to shock me.
それはね。
Is she actually going to tell us?
ね。
Yes, go on. What is it?
海を見てたの。
This is a cool CG. I like that one. I want to get it as... I want this as my thumbnail, but it's... There we go. Got it. Ah, looking at... Say
だ
what?
から海を見てたのよ。
The sea? Umi? Michiru gives a quick, embarrassed nod, her eyes downcast. Looking at the sea, I ruminate carefully on these words. Just what hidden meaning lurks inside this brief, cryptic cipher of a sentence? I know of a certain Japanese organization that refers to its maneuvering grounds as Yama. Yama, like Yamas in mountains, the mountains. Alright, so what would the sea indicate? Nothing comes to mind. Sorry, Michiru, when you say the sea, what exactly are you referring to?
海は海でしょ。
Sea is the sea. Should make looking the key word, eh? I'd assume you were indicating some sort of special surveillance mission? Was I missing some crucial context?
はい。いやね、単純に海を見てたのよ。意味なんてないよ。
Okay. Excuse me? You were literally just looking at the ocean? This is a nice picture though. This one's nice. Explain yourself. I'm baffled. You were staring at a giant saltwater puddle for no reason whatsoever.
そうよ。何か問題でもあるの？
I don't remember. I remember her going to the ocean before in the anime from years ago. I can't remember exactly what she'd done. But I don't remember him ever saying this much stuff. Of course there is. It's the first and biggest problem is that you don't see anything wrong with it. Listen carefully. Time is not an infinite resource. You only get so much. Our lives are brief. How to make use of precious time we're given is an absolutely essential problem. It's one thing if you're never given the opportunity to make your own choices. But some people spend their lives following orders from others. If that's the only path open to you, then You just have to deal with it as best you can. But you, my friend, have the good fortune to be free, and you're choosing to use your time staring at the sea for no reason at all? I find that extremely hard to understand. Well then, as your classmate, I request that you produce an acceptable reason for looking at the ocean, understood?
さ、難しく考えすぎじゃない？綺麗だなーって思ってただ海を見てただけじゃない。それでよくない？特別な理由がどうしても必要なの？
Can I conceive of this as a rest and relaxation period? Then, I don't think I can accept it unless there's some sort of concrete meaning to your
じゃあ
actions.
それでいいわよ。海を見てリラックスしてたのよ。
I see. Have to say, you didn't really seem to be enjoying it much.
そんなことないよ。
Michiru squints her eyes against the sea breeze. Her expression belies her words. This explanation seems dubious at best, but then again, I suppose it was foolish of me to expect any coherent logical basis for this woman's behaviour. God damn!
風が気持ちいい。
We stand below the vivid, clear summer sky, utterly wasting our time. If things are going to continue along these lines, it'd be more productive to return to the dorm now and just read for a while. Michiru, my friend, have you considered the possibility that this abnormal desire to view the ocean is the product of some sort of bacterial infection in your brain?
考
What?
えられません。
Well, then perhaps there's a Kappa in your family story? A Kappa, really? No, wait, they live in rivers. Damn. What's this? Let me see your head. Yeah, let me see your head for a second.
何
Shut your mouth and present me your cranium. Don't give me any trouble, just present it on a
なんで
plate.
そのもしかして頭にお皿
Bear with me 1 second. Alright, I've only got a few more minutes, so I'm going to try and wrap this up quickly because I've kind of abused my powers a bit today. So, sorry, but this one's going to be cut a bit short. I may come back to it to finish it off, maybe. I pull Michiru's head toward me and quickly pluck out a single hair. Among her mass of thoroughly bleached blonde locks, there was a single pure black strand.
終わったお皿割った
What? Did a Kappa ancestor ring any bells? Not to worry though, nothing's broken. I just pulled out a black hair for you. Kinda stands out when it's surrounded by a sea of blonde. No matter how much effort you put in, you're probably going to miss a few hairs like this unless you have someone else take a look for you.
そうなんだ。ありがとう。
You got some cucumber bits around your mouth, by the way.
ああ、そんな冗談ばっかり言ってないで。ユージも見てみなよ、海を。
I'll pass. Why bother looking at it? It's the same as it was yesterday. I think Yuusha will get along just fine, even if I don't sit around staring at it.
いいから見てみなよ。ほら。
I give in to it pestering and stare out at the ocean. As expected, there had been no dramatic development since the last time I saw it.
なんかさ、海って大きいよね。
The sea may be the same as always, but Michiru is clearly different today. The tone of her voice is strange. True enough, 70% of the Earth is covered in oceans. Huge is a relative concept, but I don't think this would qualify by the more typical standards of comparison.
そんな風に言うと思ったんだ。面白いね。
Eh? Wait, omoshiroi means interesting. Michiru laughs, inexplicably amused by my simple statement of fact, but in the next moment, that unusually serious expression is back on her face.
あのね、私こう思うんだ。この海に比べたら人間ってちっぽけな存在だよね。この大きな海を見てると、私の悩みなんてちっぽけすぎて笑えてきちゃうんじゃないかなってそう思うの。
Michiru brazenly fires off a set of lights you can normally only hear the likes of in the corniest of decades old made for TV. Oh god, it's gone down there. Teenage drama fest. If she's not intentionally quoting something, this is about as hackneyed and cliched as you can get.
今私
I'm guessing that's what it
結構
said.
いいこと言ったんじゃね？
It's more she's not remotely sheepish about her trite words. Fascinating. Maybe I'll take a look inside her head and see how the machinery works. She's clearly got a few screws loose already, so it should open easily enough. Yeah, maybe it was. But in the end I decided to affirm her statement. It's the fact that humans are only one part of the greater whole of nature. It might be cliche to reflect on the transitory nature of our existence, but that doesn't make it any less valid a argument.
でしょそうでしょにひひいいこと言ったよね5本私の
Hmm? That doesn't mean you need to repeat it. Once was plenty.
何よもう言わせてよね私の悩みなんてちっぽけなものよね
Yuusha's clearly gotten carried away. It might have been a mistake to give her ego a boost like that. In the end, she's nothing more than an idiot. Can't ever get too satisfied with herself. Too exasperated even to sigh, I send Mitchell an expressive glare. Not that I'm confident she'll be able to see the cold pity in my eyes.
ちょっと何見てるの何
Nothing at all.
なんでもないのに見るとか意味わか
Oh, it looks like the girl has a sudden flash of insight. Perhaps she's finally become aware of her own foolishness?
そういう意味じゃないからねちっぽけな悩みってそういうことじゃないもん
Oh. As Mitchell babbles on, she moves her arms to hide her tiny chest from view. Oh. Look, Maggot, I have no interest in your pitiful excuse for a rat.
見てたじゃないヘッチー目で見てたでしょそれに私別におおむねちっぽけじゃないもんあるもん
A nice body is a term we might use to describe, say, amane. By any reasonable standard, your breasts are tragically underdeveloped. My
ちょっ
condolences.
となんだよ残念じゃないよ全然残念じゃないもんマキナの方があれだもん
That girl's in a whole different category. Are you really happy about beating a complete outlayer?
嬉しくなちょっと嬉しい
Consummatury's mouth will rise ever so slightly, probably recalling Machina's washboard of a chest and mentally comparing it to her own. What a petty human being. Have you no pride, woman? You might as well gloat about handling the chopsticks better than some tourist from France.
じゃあね私おおむね大きいもん大きいんだってば大きいって言いなさいよね
Maybe.
ミチル様のお胸はとっても大きいですって言いなさいよ
Michiru-sama's breasts are very large indeed.
なんかムカつく
Apparently my complete lack of sincerity got across to you. But anyway, sounds like you've cheered up a little.
だから最初から元気だって言ってるでしょ私はいつも私なの
Neko, the black cat from the other day appears from somewhere or another, purring loudly. It sidles up to Michiru's and aggressively rubs up against her leg. See, so you're searching for a black cat rather than a bluebird?
そういうわけじゃないんだからねたまたまですよっていうかこの猫初めて見るなへえこんなところに猫がいるとはね奇遇だなにゃ奇遇
Hmm? What was this cat's name again? Something
名前
like...
なんてないんじゃない知らないな
That's right, it's Rommel.
猫にゃですやめてよねそんな変な名前でこの子のこと呼ぶの
Uh-oh. Just as I thought. It's the same animal that was at the school before, isn't it? Didn't know it was your
だ
pet.
から違いますこんな猫知らないもん
What, Rommel isn't an acquaintance of yours?
だから猫にゃだって言ってるで知らんな
You dropped something. Allow me.
いやいいです拾わんといて
Carton of milk, eh? That's a bit unexpected.
私が牛乳大好きなの知らなかった確かにみんなの前では一度も飲んだことないけど大好きでいつも飲んでるのよみんなの前では一瞬たりともそんな素振り見せたことはないけどね
I see. That's good to hear. By any chance you've been giving milk to the cat, I would have had to stop you.
なんで
No worries, since you're the one drinking it, there's no problem. Enjoy.
これは私のだから問題ないのよねでもなんでねえ教えなさいよね
Alright, let me break it down for you. Giving a cat milk can upset its stomach badly. If you're that desperate to give it some, you need to dilute the milk with water first.
別にどうしても与えたいわけじゃないもん。
As soon as the words are out of her mouth, Michiru is glancing restlessly around the area. What's wrong? Looking for a source of water by any chance?
違います。水は探していません。なんでもないの。バカ。ぐるぐるにゃー。
The black cat wraps itself around Michiru's leg like a fuzzy boa constrictor, then starts to rub the corner of his jaw roughly against her ankle. Looks like it's trying to mark her with its scent. Seems like you pretty much tame the animal. One could almost get the mistaken impression that he's begging for the milk you always give him.
そんなことないです。猫にゃ。このどこの馬の骨ともわからぬ猫。
This is
つまり
cute.
馬猫は懐いてきてません。
You sure about that? Rommel seems
だから
awfully...
猫にゃ。いや、馬です。この猫は馬です。
Uma, that's a horse, isn't it? No, it isn't. It's clear.
そんなのわかってるわよ。もう。
Apparently giving up on its request for milk, the feline in question sinks into the ground at Michiru's feet and rolls itself up into a ball. Within seconds it closes its eyes and falls fast asleep. It must have been feeding this thing for quite a while, for it to trust you this much.
うるさいわね。別に頻繁に通って餌付けなんてしてないんだからね。これは赤の他人の猫の馬なのよ。つまり赤い馬なの。だから最終的には石飛馬ってことなの。
Sacre bleu. Could you please try to calm down a bit? You have a bad habit of firing off unintelligible gibberish when you get worked up. Unfortunately, I have to actually cut this off here and come back to it maybe tomorrow or the next day. I'm sorry, but I can't because restrictions, and I've been quite cheeky as I have been. So I'm sorry, but I'll continue with this tomorrow. There we go. Alright, I'm back to finish this part off now. I am so sorry about the other day, guys, but I actually had to come off. I really had to. So, here we go to finish this. Could you please try to calm down a bit? You have a bad habit of firing off into unintelligible gibberish when you get worked up.
じゃあ馬を撫でて落ち着きます。なで。
Michiru reaches down and scratches the neck of the defenseless cat with the tip of her fingers. The animal moves its head in time with her strokes in evident pleasure, then begins to lick all of the pink pads on its paws. The cat seems so completely and blissfully relaxed that I half expect it to melt in a contented puddle. Just watching it, I can feel some of the stiffness in my shoulders begin to lighten. Wow, it's not good to carelessly let your guard down, but keeping up a state of constant tension is an even worse idea. After a brief glance around the area, I decide to take a moment of rest. Alright, I think I'll join him down there for a while. Yep, I'm sitting down. You ain't gonna move me. I drop myself to the ground next to Michiru. Flustered, she grabs at her skirt and holds it close, preventing any potential visual access to the interior. Well, she's trying to be modest. Don't be an idiot. I don't have any ulterior motive. You worry about the stupidest things.
下心がなくても見えたら困るでしょ。
Like what? A bit of cloth? Nothing worth worrying about. Michiru is apparently worried about disturbing the cat now slumbering at her feet, as she's avoiding any large movements. Either way, I truly don't have any secret plans involving her underwear. I just wanted to sprawl out on the grass and think about nothing at all for a while.
いいから、あんまりこっち見ないでよね。
It's been a long time since I've laid myself on the ground and gazed blankly up into the sky like this. Every once in a while I do spend some time gazing at the clouds, but I tend to be thinking things over while I do so. So he's having a nice relax, which is rare for Yuzi. But as Michiru says, just looking for no particular reason isn't bad in its own way. Well, that's a shove. The vault of the blue above me hasn't changed. It looks just as it did when I was a child. I thought the clouds might seem a little closer by now, but naturally they're the same as they've always been. My perspective may be a meter or so high when I stand, but that's completely insignificant on this scale. I can stretch my hand up all I want, but it will never reach the clouds. We're all but chained to the dirt beneath our feet. Wow, that gave me flashbacks to Eden, that quote. Good gosh! Wow, I haven't thought about that game in a while. I see. Not a bad view. Michiru begins to speak, her tone somewhat troubled.
私は空はちょっと怖いんだ。 特に夜の空、月が浮かんでいるのを見てると、それが月じゃなくて大きな穴に見えてくるの。
Oh,
空はす
okay.
ごくでっかい蓋で、そこにある空気穴が月。そう考えると箱の中に閉じ込められた気になって息苦しくなる。
Well, I've heard of people who get disturbed by the way the moon always seems to follow you around, but the world as a giant box angle is new to me. Yeah, I've never heard that one.
私にはそう見えるの。だから夜は空を見上げない。怖くなるし寂しくなる。私が私じゃないみたいになる。
I think I understand. You don't look at the night sky in order to prevent yourself from transforming into a wolf, right? She's not a freaking werewolf. I imagine that would be
いっ
troublesome.
そその方が気が楽だわ。狼でもドラキュラでも構わない。銀の銃弾で撃ち抜いてほしい。狙うのはし。
Oh my god! There's a little bit for the cat! Yes! There's a little picture for the cat! Awesome!
あ、ごめんね猫に。お腹空いたのかな、それとも眠いのかにゃ。
Well, this weather really does make you want to take a siesta. That said, I haven't eaten breakfast yet, so the timing is a bit off.
ねえユージ、変なこと聞くけど変に思わないでね。
Okay. No worries on that front. I've had you down as exceptionally weird for a long time
あ
now.
のさ、人って死んだらどうなるの？
Well then. What?
待って、起き上がらないで。そのまま寝転がって聞いて。たわいもない話として。
Right. So she's had someone very close to her die by the sounds of it. It sounds that way at the second. If possible, I'd like to talk about this while observing her face, but if Michiru's Sama desires otherwise, I can do naught but obey. I ease myself back onto the grass and listen to her voice.
例えばドラキュラは太陽の光で灰になって消えておしまいでしょ。だったら人間は死んだらどうなるの？
Are we talking about religious ideology here? You want to hear something about a final moral judgment?
そういうんじゃない。もっと普通に死んだらどうなっちゃうの？
Oh, I don't even know how to answer this one myself. Let's see. I haven't died yet, so I can't speak with much authority, but probably nothing.
何もないってどういう状態？無ってこと？
I guess so. If you're imagining floating naked in the pure white space, I think you're slightly off. The way I picture it, it's just like going to sleep and then never waking up again.
そっか。眠って起きないのか。
Everyone else will probably be running around worried about the funeral, but what do you care? Of course, people die in many different ways, but in the end, we're all taking a never-ending nap.
そっか。そうなんだ。
Wow.
意外と楽なのかもね。
Depends on how you look at it. Anyway, heaven and hell are just the remnants of an archaeal moral system. Nobody really takes that stuff seriously anymore. Don't see many people going around walking on water, or maybe magical wine out of it. That's Christianity. Of course, it seems God does appear before the chosen few every once in a while, most often to tell them they need to start up a political campaign.
あの、
Well, Michiru begins to ask something, but stops before the words leave her mouth. Okay. After a moment of silence, she starts to speak again. I can't tell whether it's the continuation of her dangling sentence or a completely new topic.
もし私が死んだらここに埋めてほしい。
Huh? Hold on a minute. You're getting a bit ahead of yourself there. Or do you want to die anytime soon?
ないよ。ないけど、もしもの話。
Okay.
だってここは景色がすごく綺麗じゃない？ここから世界中が見渡せそうだもん。こんな場所で眠れるんだったら幸せ。
To be honest, I'm a little displeased to hear a perfectly healthy person scouting out locations for their tomb.
そう固いこと言わないの。ねえ、その大役をユージに任せてあげる。
Huh?
ここにお墓作って。
You want me to dig a hole and bury you in it? Look, you can't go making a grave wherever you please. Do you understand that?
いいの。細かいことはいいからそうしなさい。
Oh, kitty! The cat's eyes shoot open at the sound of Michiru's shout. Startled, it bounds away like a spring. Oh, no! Nekoyan! Vanishing in the blink of an eye, I slowly raised my upper body off the ground, brushing off the grass clinging into my clothes.
まったく。あんたにはマロンがないのよ、マロンが。
Maron? Why are we talking about lettuce?
栗の話なんてしてないでしょ。いいよ、ふざけてんの？猫にゃんも逃げちゃったし。ああ。
Oh god, the smoke.
お腹空いちゃったじゃない。それじゃあ朝ごはんでも食べに行くわよ。そこのあんた、私が一緒に食べてあげてもいいわよ。
Uh-huh. Michiru's expression has returned to the norm. It's as though the conversation just now never happened. Well, if you're hungry, I guess I can split my beans with you.
豆。相変わらず貧相な食生活してるわね。
Says the girl who's always filling up on convenience store box lunch packed full of preservatives.
さよね。
Wow.
それじゃあ今からどっち
There
が
we
先に学校戻るか競争負けたらジュースがおごれるよいだ。
Our little conversation about death took me by surprise. Honestly, not what you'd expect from a random chat with your classmate. Life is always shadowed by death. The only question is whether you're aware of its presence at your side. Sometimes a man who looks perfectly healthy in the morning goes to sleep and never opens his eyes again. Death can come at any time, and once it does, it's too late to regret the things you've left undone. Morbidity isn't productive, but sometimes we should remember that nothing lasts forever. Michiru's words might be significant in their way. Okay, I thought it was one-sided in my ear for a second. Michiru calls me from some distance away. Carefree girl. I'll catch up on her in seconds, if that's the extent of her head start. I begin to walk slowly, trying to decide what sort of drink I'll have her buy me. You brutal monster. Oh. Oh my. Okay, this is where I wanted to actually originally end off this episode. Because this now... Is there a letter missing at you? Could you please try to calm down a bit? What the hell happened to the words on this one? What the... You have a bad habit. I don't even know what that says. But there we go, we actually finished this part right now. I'm sorry I had to pass it on to the next day, but I had to because restrictions and I have to behave. Otherwise I'll end up in trouble and probably have my ass handed to me. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you want any more from me. And I'll see you in the next video. Solaja guys! I will indeed see you next time. I'm sorry it's dark. Unfortunately I had work today.